everyone, Craig from the University of Applied Research and Development. We've got Tim from the Wild Geese Group with us. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Craig.
I know you've got some fantastic news to share with us.
Yeah, I have. And it's always nice to have a little bit of a silver lining in this dark cloud of COVID-19 challenges. But I'm pleased to announce that we've managed to expand our presence through our CLS, our Cooperative Learning Site Network, and we're now in Poland, the Canary Islands, Tunisia, Malta, Abu Dhabi, Indonesia, Australia, Thailand, Netherlands, France, USA, and Kazakhstan. We've pretty much trebled our global footprint and network in the last month, which is a good thing for us and a good shared thing for us, Craig, because all these sites now recognise the value added of the pathway to ERRM, Emergency Response Risk Management, and that's something we're collaborating on, UARD and Wild Geese. So that, combined with the need now to educate people digitally through platforms such as Zoom and our new web browser-based simulator that we use for our PITO delivery courses, we can now offer people who normally wouldn't get to experience this training, we can now give it to them. Places like Poland, like Kazakhstan. So this is very, very good. This is positive. And for an old school educator like myself, who was up until recently quite nervous of all this and worried about the quality of the delivery, I can see now that the benefits outweigh the challenges faced with understanding it. And also the target audience has also changed too. I'm watching on social media. For a young person, a teenager through to early 30s, this is norm. This has been norm for a long time. But for a more mature guy, this is something abnormal, something we wouldn't normally do. But I'm now looking at conference calls being made on Zoom platforms. And I'm not saying Zoom is the be all or end all, but it's the one that's available, readily, accessibly available. And that's what we've done with ourselves. We've made ourselves available now as educators to share these new programs, ERRM, and we're just using the network now to reach out, and it's wonderful. And that's all part to do with the PITO approving us as the first remotely approved delivery site. So we're just sharing the love, for want of a better word. We've got these courses, they're now available. If you do a number of these courses, it can now be dual certified in that it can work towards the pathway for getting your bachelor's or your master's. And for professionals like myself from industry that are worried about where the next job's coming from, the certificates only take you so far in your professional development. It's the all-important degrees that are people looking for. And, you know, I left school before I could be eligible for getting a degree. I never went to university. I went to something called the University of Life, and I'm 35 years in that University of Life now, 24 years of it in oil and gas. I've got 3 certificates sitting up on the wall. It'd be nice to turn those 3 certificates into 1 degree, which will now make me a lot more competitive in the workforce for getting my next job, and put me where I should be, some sort of formal recognition of the years I've done, not necessarily of the work I've done, but of the years I've done. You know, it's always funny, you see a person work for 15 years and they come and do a 3-day course and they get a certificate. It's all about that 3-day course. And that's what a certificate will do, whereas a degree will demonstrate the time you've put in, which could be 10 years, 15 years. So this UARD process is definitely it's a life preserver for a lot of people who are now worried whether they've got a job to go back to. Why wouldn't you now collect all your certificates and submit them as evidence to someone like us so we could validate them, verify them, and then place you where you sit on this 3-year journey? Who knows, you might find yourself automatically in the year 3 part of the program and walk away with the degree. So your next job, the degree might be the weight that tips the scales in your favor. They'll recognize that you have got a degree, because I see a lot of job opportunities coming up now, and they're pretty much saying, if you haven't got a degree, then you shouldn't even be applying. And then you're seeing these people getting out of university, and there's nothing against the people getting out of university, but they're entering the same job stream I'm in. So they're coming out with 2 or 3 degrees, which are fantastic, and they're being hired but they've never worked a day in industry. So there's got to be a happy balance. There's got to be a happy balance where the mature people get an opportunity to be market competitive against the guys that are coming and the ladies that are coming out of the universities. And this process does that. It does that wonderfully. So we're very, very pleased to be part of it. And with the CLS network now spanning into 12 to 14 new regions or new countries, we're just going to spread the news even faster and reach people we wouldn't normally get to reach. And that's all because we were pushed towards the digitalization of life earlier than we were prepared to go, and we found a way of doing it successfully.
Congratulations, Tim. I think that we need to highlight that in this time when most businesses have hunkered down and tried to defend, you've actually gone on the offense and expanded your, as you say, your footprint all around the world, while at the same time getting a world first approval with OPITO to deliver this high level training remotely, which is unique.
It helps when the standard setting body such as OPITO says, okay, it's something we weren't prepared to do this year, but if we don't do it, industry won't be trained. So, and there's a fair bit of trust involved. They pretty much said, show us how you're going to do it. And if it fits inside our parameters, then we'll give you the green light. So we showed them how we were going to do it. We had a few knockbacks, a few recommendations. We modified things. And that's the thing about digital, is it's constantly evolving. There's constantly a better way out there to deliver the training. So the job isn't finished here, but it's very much well started. We're definitely on the pathway, and it's up to other people's in industry to also identify that if you want to continue doing this, you're going to have a digital culture. But that just doesn't sit with the vehicle you're using to deliver the products. It also sits with the people you're using to drive the vehicle. Something we've also done here is we've hired IT people, which is something we would never have thought of hiring. We've hired IT people that we're going to train or teach, develop to be educators. Whereas before we hired educators that we were going to try and teach how to be IT people. So it's just a completely different mindset. It's a different approach, and it's a much needed approach because I don't think we're going to go back to where we would like to be. So we better embrace where we are now, learn to like it, because this is the start of something very, very new for everyone. But we're coming to terms with that. But it's funny, of the 12 to 14 places we're now in, it's interesting to see that some of the areas you wouldn't think had a digital understanding actually have a better understanding than us, because they've been forced to do it longer than us. So, and we're talking remote places now where there isn't a university around the corner, where there isn't a school around the corner. They've been going online for educating for years. So they were very quick to adapt. We didn't have to explain nothing to them. That they knew it all already. So it was good that they were well prepared for our docking process. Yep.
So for the thousands of people who have been through Wild Geese Group and achieved these qualifications like MEMIR, OIM, PMIC, and done these high-level qualifications with you, or if maybe they've been through the CLS partners, if they wanted to take what they've done and their years, their industry experience, and move into a bachelor program and onto a master's program, what's their next step?
Okay, a good question, because they are our target audience. These are the people that we've been training. We train here in Malaysia. We train between 400 and 500 people a year. Collectively, it's a couple of thousand. But they've already got certificates and they don't know their true worth yet. So then their next step would be to come onto our website, wgacademy.org, wggacademy.org, and identify which courses they've done and then work out where they wanted to take this. For me personally, I'm taking my training up to a bachelor's degree. I've got some colleagues who are interested in a master's degree. They've already done a number of programs that would have them positioned or placed in the year 3 of the bachelor's. So it's just a matter of asking the question from us. We'll be able to advise them where they sit. We'll be able to give them some advice on what courses they need to do or complete to complete the bachelor's and masters. We provide that training, we sell that training, and then it's endorsed through UARD. The process is relatively simple, and it was deliberately designed that way to be simple to understand. It can't be too complex. It can't be too challenging, and we don't want to lose sight of the qualifications these guys have already got. they're very much rewarded or accepted as the stepping stones or the stairs you climb to get to the end result, which is a bachelor's. Yeah.
Tim from Wild Geese Group, thank you so much for your time.
No problem, Craig. Have a good day.
Great. And congratulations on all your success.
Yeah.